fam. It's your favorite uncle, your favorite son, your favorite nephew, your favorite father, your favorite brother, your best friend's best friend. It's me, Dr. Larry, and welcome to Living For You, the YouTube channel. This is a safe space, a positive place in which we come together, we grow together, we learn from one another, we help each other, we have fun, we do all kinds of things on this channel, Living For You. This is a great place. This is one of the most positive, upbeat, best places out here on these internet streets. So welcome, welcome, welcome to those of you who are my loyal, faithful family who've been riding with me through this wave over this year and a half almost. Thank you. I love you. You're family. You're my heart. I do this for you and so much more because I want to spread love to the world, and I know this is going to impact you, and you're going to share this with as many people as you can possibly share this with. So I love you. I love you for that. To those of you who are new, have never seen me, I am Dr. Larry Smith. I am a life and spiritual coach. I own a business among several businesses, but my main business is Live For You Coaching, which is a life coaching business in which I help my clients overcome trauma. I say that very plainly because that's what it's about. It's about overcoming trauma and living a present life right now, right here, today, the best life that we all deserve, and that includes you. And there are some of you who watch the videos still. You've gone and given me thousands of views, but you haven't subscribed to the channel. What are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel, join the family, share this information, like the videos, do all of that stuff, and be part of this great positive community that is expanding and that is growing out here on these internet streets. Anyway, if you want to know more about me, you can actually go to www.liveforyoucoaching.com. That's www.liveforyoucoaching.com. And if you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me at Dr. Larry Smith on both Instagram and Facebook. That's Dr. Larry Smith on both Facebook and Instagram, where I'm always posting. Okay, so today I'm wearing red, and actually I just so happened to be filming this video on Valentine's Day, or around Valentine's Day. And so of course, I want to talk about the subject of love. And this is actually an interesting time for me because, as you can see right behind me, there's a picture of my mother and there's a candle lit next to it. My mother's birthday is February 8th. My mom was born on February 8th. Usually around this time I think about her. Those of you who have been loyal, faithful followers, you know that my mom is no longer here physically. She's transitioned into the spiritual realm with the ancestors back in 2019. And it was a heavy hit, it was a heavy loss, but I always remember my mom, especially around her birthdays. Like, I feel her presence a lot more around her birthday because we always had that connection. And one of the things about our birthdays is we always call and talk for a while. We talked all the time, but the birthdays were kind of like, let me directly acknowledge your special day and acknowledge you on this special day. So I always feel my mom's presence very much heavily around her birthday. So what I do is I light a candle, I put her picture next to the candle, and I just, just there, just to kind of, for the ambiance and for the feeling of it, the good feeling of it. But when I think about my mom, I think about love. And love is a common conversation that you have. Everybody wants love. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to experience love. Even those people who act as though they don't want to experience love, even those people have a desire for love in their lives. And I pulled up a few things that references love. You guys know some of them, like 1 Corinthians 13 for the Christians, 4 and 8. And I'll read these, and I'll read them momentarily, a couple of things momentarily throughout this while I talk. But this one says, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no records of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. They will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be still. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. love is so many things, so many positive things. It doesn't keep anger, it doesn't dishonor, it doesn't hold grudges, it doesn't do any of that. And when I think of that type of pure love, the word love referenced there, if you guys know anything about Bible translation, it's Greek. And the Greek word is agape. And agape is just pure, unfiltered, unadulterated, mutual love. It's ultimately saying, I love you for no other reason other than to love you for who you are. Everything you are. All that comes with you, irregardless of whatever it is, whether I agree, disagree, like, or dislike, I love you for you. And that's the kind of love I think about when I think about my mom. My mom, like everybody's mom, was a work in progress. We're all works in progress. And many times our parents, and young people, this is very much important for you to know. Your parents are growing and becoming their full selves even after they've had you. So sometimes they make mistakes. Sometimes they don't do things always correctly. Sometimes they say things or they don't always make the best decision. But you have to keep in mind, they're doing the best that they know. And if their tanks of love and appreciation and honor and respect weren't filled as kids and as young adults, they're not going to always have the tools to lay that into you. And we have to be more compassionate about parents growing as we're growing. Sometimes parents, my mom had me at 19, she had my sister at 17, she had us very, very young. And so as we were growing and she was trying to make sure we were being developed in our formative years, she was growing and just trying to be an adult herself, as was my father. And so, so I've learned to forgive. I've learned to show more compassion to her growth process, and that helped me and her to really have a tight relationship because I didn't hold her stuff against her. My love didn't hold a grudge. My love didn't keep account of the errors that she had, because aside from all of that, the immense amount of agape love that my mom had for me was tremendous. And I think that that's a love that everyone on the planet should feel. Now, granted, a mother's love is a unique love. It comes from somebody who has held you and have harbored you and held you, incubated you literally within their body for almost 10 months. And so that's the kind of love that's hard to duplicate. However, love can be duplicated. You can show love to a significant other. You can show love to a friend, to a spouse, to a partner, to anyone. You can show love to people out there on the streets and radiate love every day, not just on February 14th. Love is a powerful, powerful, powerful thing. I wanted to read another because, like I said, spiritual texts and writers and all kinds of mystics and important documents and very famous people, they all have talked about love. Love is just sincerely something that we all know. Now, in Buddhism, they talk about the 4 elements of love and what makes love love for the Buddhists. And so I want to read a couple of them. There is loving kindness. That's the very first thing. And loving kindness is not always easy. But at the same time, this isn't just love by itself. This means your kindness. You're compassionate. You're not trying to hurt anyone. You're considerate of that. That's the essence of true love. True love is that it generates joy. True love should generate joy. The second of the 4 elements of love is compassion. Compassion is very, very, very important because compassion is an action word. And in Buddhism, they teach that with compassion, the intention of it is to eliminate suffering or to try to reduce another person's suffering. So love reduces another person's suffering through compassion. The 4th element is joy. True love has the ability to make someone suffer less, as we just talked about it. And in that moment, it's a joyous spring. It brings joy. And so you help your partner suffer less, you help your friends suffer less, you help your neighbor suffer less, and that's half of the battle. And then, of course, the last element of love is equanimity, which means we see each other the same, right? When I look at you, I look at me and I see myself. I'm not attached to who I am in my own person individually. I'm not attached to my titles. I'm not attached to my degrees, my religions, my differences, my gender, my sexuality, my nation, none of that. I'm attached to my fellow humans, and our bond is love. And that love is greater than any differences that we can have. So our job on this planet, according to the Buddhist, is to bring each other's suffering down, not elevate suffering. To bring suffering down, reduce each other's suffering, and that's the essence of love. Which really, if you go back to that biblical scripture in Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, it's the same thing. If you're not harboring grudges, if you're not provoking people, if you're not making people unhappy, you're reducing their pain, their suffering, and you're ultimately bringing them joy and peace. And like I said, my mother wasn't perfect. No one's parents are perfect. But at the end of the day, that pure essence of love of a mother and child is such an innocent and precious, valuable love that transcends. I feel my mother's love even to this day. And there'll be times, not to freak you out, but there'll be times I'm sitting around and I can actually smell my mom's cologne, perfume. She used to wear like this red stuff that was one of her favorites. And just thinking on it hard enough, I can actually smell the scent. Why? Because I connected to my emotion, and that emotion is love that I have for my mother, even beyond death. And so it's almost as though her presence is always with me in love. And that is the power of love. Love is unconditional. Love is satisfying. Love is gratifying. You know, love is wonderful. Of course, I have one more quote on love, and I think this is a good one. And this was by Aristotle, you know, the Greek philosopher. Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies. Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies. That is a phenomenal quote, because when I think of love in my spiritual life, when I think of love in my physical life, when I think of love in my relationships with friends and romantic relationships, I think of God. I think of God. And I know my agents are like, here we go. No, I think of the energy, the creative energy, a positive energy, an effervescent energy, a beautiful energy. And for me, it's an energy that we all share in common. So I literally equate love to God. And so when we're sharing our love with one another, when you're sharing your love with your partners, parents, when you're sharing your love with your child, the love that I shared with my mom, to me, is akin to the love that I have from God. And when I think of it, it makes me happy. I bubble up inside. I'm not sad about that love. I'm overwhelmed with that love. I want to share that love. This is why I get on camera and I do these YouTube videos. I want to share that effervescent love that I equate to God, that a mother can have for a child, partners can have, spouses can have, friends can have. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like being in a room with people who love you and people you love. There's nothing like sharing and giving a gift to someone you love. That's why we all get wookie over Valentine's Day, because we going out, we get cards, we get candy, we get flour, we give gifts to show our love and appreciation for another person, which in my opinion is the essence of God. So love is God. Love is spirit. Love is that force of creation that is deep embedded in all of us, that is full engulfing around us, that created us and everything else, but also connects us with each other and everything else. That is love. Love is beautiful. So when you think of that Aristotle quote, when you say love is one spirit inhabiting two beings, it says it so perfectly. So it can't help but bring joy. And so when I close my eyes and I envision my mother holding me. My mom used to do this thing that I still enjoy even to this day. She would sit me in between her legs and she would rub my head. Just rub my head. And she would do it for hours. Like, I'd be sitting and watch TV and she'd be watching TV and she would rub my head for hours. It was almost like she got enjoyment out of giving me that sensation that I enjoyed. But it was just the connection that for years she did. And I can even recall as an adult, I can actually go and just lay on her lap as she was reading or watching TV and she would just rub my head. And it felt like love. It felt like God. And it's there's memories like that that I cherish and I hold because they're the essence of what love is. They're the essence of what built me and what made me and what brings me here to try to share this love with the world. I want the world to elevate itself in love. I want us to love each other again. I want us to take care of each other again. So let's not just relegate our emotion of this powerful thing we call love, this God energy, this spirit energy, this powerful, powerful, joyous, beautiful energy to just one day, February 14th. Let's make it 365 days. Let's go beyond that. Let's make this a movement in which love leads the way. And all of the former things that doesn't serve us, operations at a low vibration, will dissolve and love will win. Because in my opinion, love always wins in the end. That's it, y'all. I love y'all. You know I had to get on here and talk about this. I love Valentine's Day. I love love. I love you, as I always say. And as I also always say, I will see you in the next video.